Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, barring issues with technology, we've got Cameron Black from Gone Catch and Guide Service out on the Columbia, chasing some salmon around with clients. First thing, Cameron, thanks for spending some time with a kicker in hand and herring twirling, I'm assuming. How you been, man? And how's the fishing?
It's pretty nice today. We got really nice weather and seen a few fish caught and killed one ourselves and lost one. We got a loser in the boat, so, you know, it kind of happens that way.
Yeah, that's always sad. When you got that poor person's got to deal with it until somebody else loses one, right?
That's right. He's on the hot seat now. I got Clint over here, too. He's, like, following me around. He put a fish in the boat, too.
Awesome. All right. See, now there's
a good time.
There's quite a few boats out there. Overall, Cameron, today, is it a better day than, say, yesterday at this time? How are things improving as we go on?
So yesterday, a little pod of fish came in here, and we were able to kind of get it all done by about 10:30 and headed in. But the weather was horrid. It was cold. I mean, dude, it felt like early February instead of, you know, April.
Right.
And but the fishing, I think a little pod of fish moved in yesterday, and we got them pretty good. And then today, this morning, kind of on the burnout of the tide, there's a little pot of fish, seen about a half dozen caught. We got in on it ourselves, and now we're kind of waiting for the next batch.
Well, now
so,
I know.
And it's,
go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead, Cameron. I'm sorry.
No, just with the numbers of fish that we're seeing, I mean, the whole reason why we've got an extension, that's just kind of the way, you know, springer fishing is when you're only fishing on the start of the run and not in the main part of the run, just little batches of fish coming through.
Well, you already mentioned we did get a bit of an extension. That's the only reason why Cameron's out there on a Sunday. It was intended to be closed on Friday. Of course, we're going through Tuesday. Are you a little bit more optimistic going into Monday and Tuesday for some opportunity?
I mean, you know, just the way the run is structured and the season is structured, the longer you can go into April, the more of a chance you have a hit in like the main run of the fish, which they purposely keep us off of. Yeah. Just because of quotas, and honestly, springers like to bite stuff.
Right.
So, you know, if there's a lot of fish around, we could catch our quota, you know, in a day versus kind of what they've structured right now. So the later you can go, the better theoretically it should be.
Yourself as a professional, are you going to be sticking it out where you are now? Again, we don't need to, you know, talk about the rock you're on, but I know you're in the lower half of the river. Are you going to migrate at all? Or are you going to stay down there through Tuesday?
I've been fishing the kind of the Kalama area. You know, I do like to fish below the Multnomah Channel and the Willamette, just because there is, you know, quite a chunk of fish that go into there. But, you know, I mean, as the season kind of progresses and those blackface fish kind of go up above Bonneville, you know, those areas of the river, it necks down. There's a little more current up there. It's steadier current. You're not dealing with slack tide scattering the fish. So those guys will start getting them as, you know, the season kind of continues to progress. So it, you know, I like to be here because like I said, I get a shot at those Willamette, Multnomah Channel fish.
Hey, stay off my fish, man. I'm sorry.
I got to kill them before you feed it to them.
Don't worry about me, man. Once they get to me, they're safe. It seems like these days, it seems like they're safe. All right, so let's talk about how you're fishing and how you might continue to fish going through Tuesday. Are you just doing the typical routine, inline flashers, fish flash, or whatever it is that you're fishing and herring, or are you doing anything different?
Believe it or not, we actually caught that fish on an anchovy this morning. I've been doing kind of a mix, so I'm not going to lie to you. But
nice.
Honestly, I don't think it's about what bait you're throwing. I really don't. I think it's about, you know, just being where a couple fish are. And unfortunately, even with like all our electronics, I'm going to take that from you, all our electronics and whatnot that we got on the boat, like I'm not seeing much out here. So it doesn't really seem to really matter what the bait is, but just more or less getting something in front of them.
If you're just a regular fisherman like myself, we're out there trying to get a bite or two for ourselves, just an individual out there running. Is there anything that you would say could help us maybe being more efficient when we're trolling to, you know, maybe just to up our odds of getting bit? Or is it just as simple to keep it on the bottom and go?
Keep it on the bottom, go. You know, making sure that you're trolling nice and slow on these outgoing tides, at least in the Kalama area. We've got a pretty big tide in the morning. It's not going too fast. I mean, I'm trolling, you know, 2.9, 3.0. You know, if you're slack tide fishing, bust out the 360s. Like it's not really anything particularly special other than just good troll technique and just hope you run into one. it's funny because even over the last few days, like today, I'm not marking hardly squat, and we've seen this up a couple fish and had a couple chances, but shoot, most of the time, if I see a fish on our finder, it's like he's biting. Like, I'm not going over dozens of fish a day to where it's like, oh, I better change what I'm doing and throw on a different color this or a different that. It's more like I just got to find one. So you want to make sure you have good fresh bait. You want to make sure you're on the bottom when you do find them, especially on these outgoing tides. And then it's just cross your fingers.
Yeah, really. It's more or less, you got a bullseye one, right? I mean, it's not like they're going to, cover a lot of ground, but like Cameron has already said, they are biters, right? If you're talking about spring Chinook, typically, if you're doing things right, they're going to snap. Again, they're safe in my vicinity, but when they're around Cameron, not so much. All right, so overall, this season, to this point, there's been a lot of opinions. What's your opinion on this season as we stand April 7th for 2024? Is it a good year, bad year, weird year? What's your take?
I think it's hard to tell when, we've got the sea lion predation in the river. I don't care what anybody says. Like, there's no way for us knowing. We need the main wad of fish to show up to where some can get through the 10,000 hungry mouths in the lower part of the river. We all sit here and claim, oh, the run's getting later, the run's getting later. No, it's not. The early part's getting eaten. Like, there's just not enough cannon fodder to get fish through. So we've got 50-degree water right now. Right. Give me a break. Like, we should be catching fish like crazy.
Yes.
And when the finders look like that, and they, we are getting our chances. Like I said, yesterday, we had a great day yesterday. It's just a matter of running into them, but it's April freaking 7th.
Yes.
With 50-degree Columbia water, we should be way better than we're not. But we're not going to see that until the main part of the run gets through and we can sneak a few past the seals. I'm convinced of it.
Well, you're right in the middle of it, and I agree with you. And I think the majority of us that actually are in the know to a degree would agree with you. Those sea lions are out of control.
I'm just telling my guys to hit the bottom.
Oh, get your baits at the bottom and leave them there. Cameron, as always, man, my time with you is always too short. But last thing I got to ask you, right? 2 days left. The fish are definitely having a hard time getting through. We don't have any excuses, do we? 50-degree water, the 7th of April. There's no excuses.
They're dying in the lower river, or they are getting eaten by seals. So I'm not really sure. I'm like, with the way our steelhead run came in this year and how fantastic that was, I'm just kind of holding out hope. Like, when enough of these things get in here and some of these seals kind of jettison out of here, like, we might end up seeing some better dam counts and stuff. I know you guys report on the dam counts not being as strong as they probably should be right now, but we're going to wait and see. Hold my breath. Or don't hold your breath, I should say.
We're all holding our breath. Again, everyone, this is Cameron Black from Gone Catching Outfitters. Make sure that I get that correctly. Cameron, thank you, my friend.
All good.
Good luck. Be safe out there, and we'll check in with you again soon, okay?
We'll send you a pic later, bud. See ya.
I appreciate that. I need some hope, man. I need some hope. Take care, buddy. All right, we're going to cut out. When we come back, we'll give you an idea what we got going on for this upcoming weekend. We'll be right back.